So there's a lot of questions that come in from students around how do I manage my time better in terms of my spiritual practice and my studies. And students have a lot of pressure. They got to wake up in the morning. The first thing they do is they're worried about their schoolwork, they're worried about exams, they're worried about cramming in lots of information, and maybe they're up till very late at night, very till the early hours of the morning, memorizing things for exams or writing essays and doing homework and things like that. So where do we have the time when our mind is so filled? What I would recommend is, in a stressful situation like that, you're actually going to benefit far greater where you can allow yourself some time of letting go. The more pressure that we take on ourselves, the more worries that we have, anxieties, thoughts that we have, you can get into a scenario where you're so busy with your minds that you're actually even dreaming about it. Your dreams are also restless. You're also having dreams that are causing you distress, because you're getting so used to being in a stressful state all day that you're carrying that on throughout your night. So you don't have rest in the day, you don't have rest at night. So it's very useful. When you wake up in the morning, I always say people have 2 times in the day when they can meditate. And by meditation, I leave that word open quite loosely. Whatever works for you. I've said many times before in lots of my talks, try lots of different types of meditation. Try anything that is able to stable your mind down, stable your emotions down, and get into a quiet, grounded space. Even if that means going outside and going for a walk, or breathing some fresh air, or whatever it is, or listening to some spiritual music. Anything that allows your mind to get into a peaceful, tranquil state. You've got 2 times in the day. You can do that in the mornings, just when you wake up. When you wake up in the morning, sit up in bed, just even if it's 5 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes to slow your breathing down, feel that calm tranquilness. So the question is, how do I give my time to Gurbani? And it implies that there is some sort of rules that you're trying to stick to. I've not got time to stick to these rules. I've got so many things else that I need to do. But to me, the wisdom of the Bani, if you can bring it into your life, the wisdom of the Bani, one of the key things of Gurbani, Guruji says, kya padhiye, kya guniye, kya ved purana sune, padhe sune kya hoye, jo sahaj na miliyo soy. What is the point of reading all these spiritual prayers? What is the point of listening and singing all these spiritual verses? Padhe sune kya hoye? What's that going to achieve? Jo sahaj na miliyo soy. If you do not find tranquility. And this goes to everyone who thinks that they're completing a duty, that they have to read the Banis because the Guru told them to, like it's some sort of duty. Yes, the Guru told you to, because you're trying to cultivate the peace that the Guru says is in those words, in that way of thinking, in the letting go. So if you don't have time, you certainly have time to cultivate some of that peace. Use whatever spare time you have to get back into that state of peace, into that state of tranquility that's already within you. And if you do have spare time, it's nice sometimes to completely switch off. You know, if you've had a stressful day, I don't say that in your spare time you must only listen to Gurbani or you must only listen to spiritual teachings. Sometimes it's nice to just put the telly on and watch Netflix or something, just to get your mind off it. But what you will find is, even once you've watched an hour, 2, 3 hours of your favorite shows, you're not actually in a state of peace. That's why I'm saying, you think that it's actually easy to just watch some TV for several hours, but you haven't actually felt that peace. So try practicing peace. Try practicing peace in your discussions with other people. Try practicing peace when you're in public transport. Now, if we're locked at home these days, we're not going anywhere. Try practicing peace when you're doing the simplest of tasks, like just getting ready in the morning, like preparing a meal, making yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Try and practice little moments of peace throughout your day, because you have so much stress in your life. So you're practicing the wisdom of the Bani. If you don't have time to read the Bani, if you don't have time to do the daily discipline, you have the experience of cultivating that. Remember, this is not one of those traditions where you're supposed to spend 24 hours just in a sitting down position, closing your eyes and meditating. This is not a tradition where you have to do that for several hours a day. This is a 24-hour remembering tradition. The tradition of just using those mantra words, using the Bani, using the Shabad, using whatever words. I call mantra a reminder word, a word that gets you back into that space. Whatever word reminds you of this space of oneness, use that word throughout your day, in different times of your day. So I hope that you can see that Bani can be applied even when you don't have time for that Bani. You can apply it during your day to day. If you're breathing, you have time for it. If you can have time to get your mind off your studies for whatever reason and thinking about something else, you have time to align with that breath, the experience of oneness, the experience of letting go.